Good afternoon all, Richard here, Richard's Ride Out Diaries. I've got a slightly different video for you today. I've got a bit of a problem. Well, I'm about to buy a new tyre for my bike. As you know, I've got a Fazer 600S, I think it's 2003 model, and my back tyre is a Batlax T20. I had one before, or T32. I had one before and it was wearing badly. You've got like little flaky bits on the tyre. It's wearing on the rear edge. You see it here, look, on the rear tyre, on the rear tread. You can see it all the way around, look, both sides. And there as well, look. So about to get a new tyre, and I didn't really want to do the same thing. And so I looked online, and I can actually adjust the shock on the rear. And looking at it, it actually says that if you've got a tear on the rear of the tyre, like I have, then it's to do with a rebound. So I looked again online, and the basic settings you need to have on this I've written down. So I'm going to show you how to adjust the sag. So first thing you need to do is put the bike on its stand, have the back wheel off the ground, and then measure a point basically from your, it's a bit difficult doing it one-handed, but measure a point up directly above, and here I've got the plaster on there, as you can see that. So that says 62, so 620 millimeters. So you've got what they call it, a wheel off the ground full extension sag. I'll write this down on here, L1, 620. Now what I'll do is I'll put the bike on the ground, let the wheel come up, and then that's called your static sag with the wheel on the ground. And the tolerance between what I've measured from there to there, that should be 5 to 10 millimeters. So I'll do that now and then we'll remeasure it. I'll put it up against the fence here so that it's a bit difficult doing it on your own. But there we go. Bike is now down, rock it about a little bit. And then we should get a measurement again from the wheel hub. This tape measure fits nicely in, and up to there. I should stand the bike up, get a proper, better reading. Okay, that's 614. I don't think you can see that. L2 static sag wheel on the ground, that is 614. Now they reckon the difference between the wheel off the ground and the wheel on the ground should be 5 to 10 millimeters. So 620, 614, so that's 7. So that's okay, check. So that's okay. Now I'm going to sit on the bike and then try and adjust it. So we'll see what happens then. So for doing this, you're going to need this piece of equipment in your toolkit, normally under the seat. I don't know if you can see, but there's lots of little notches in here, and that's your rebound, and they're actually numbered from 1 to 7. Number 1, according to my notes, is soft. Number 7 is hard. So depending on what the sag rate is on your bike, you can adjust that, and you can turn it clockwise. I think clockwise it will make the rebound slower, and if you do anti-clockwise, it will make the rebound faster. And that's the problem I've got on my tyre. It says that the rebound is too fast, so I need to slow it down. So that means I need to basically go from number 1 through up to number 7 and make it a higher number, I believe. So you'll get the ratchet and put it in here, and you'll see clockwise I think softens it up like that. So you can actually play around with these preload settings, and you can actually adjust it that way, hot and sweaty. So what I'll do is I'm going to redo the measurements again and then see what happens and see if I can get it within the tolerances that I'm allowed on the specs for the bike and for my weight as well. All right, this is the difficult bit because I'm doing it on my own. I just bent my key on. Don't leave the key in the ignition because you might bend it. Or in the... Okay. And this is difficult. This is where you normally have a helper because it's difficult doing this on your own, but I'll try. So hook it in the wheel hub, and then I've got to try and get an idea. I know I'm not in all my gear. You normally should do it all the gear on. Right, so that is 5. I'll stand up against this. It's a bit tricky. Full weight on the bike. And that is 570. Okay. Right, so I had 620 when it was full extension with on its centre stand. I had 614, which is the bike on the ground, static sag, which is 7mm. So that's within the tolerance. And then rider sag, so you want L1 minus L3. And L3 was 575, so that's 25, 35, so that's a tolerance of 45mm. So if it is more than 35mm, I need to increase the preload. So that means increasing it going towards 7. And I can tell you that the preload setting on here was actually at 1, which is the softest. So I'm going to now increase that up to say 5 or 6 and then do another measurement, and then hopefully it should be okay. And then hopefully then it will get rid of that tyre problem where I'm wearing it out, so the new one I buy won't wear out so quickly. Grab the tool, and I'm going to now turn it clockwise. So that should be on number 1 now. This is number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and put it up, say number 6. Okay, number 6, and now I'll do a remeasurement with me sitting on it, and then take a reading and see what it says then. Hopefully it might cure the problem. Stick it in the hub. Right, I'm now at 585. 585. Okay, so we're now 585 with me on, and it's 620 was when the full extension. So the difference is 1535. So that's actually gone from 45mm to 35mm, and the target is 35, well 30 to 35, and it's now nearer the target. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it at that because it's hot and sweaty, and it's difficult doing it on your own. And I'm not an expert obviously, but I have been watching other stuff on YouTube, and so I think what I've done is I've increased the preload, made the spring stiffer. So hopefully the tyre will be more planted and won't bounce around so much. As I say, it was on number 1 before, so it was on the softest. So whoever had it before, I mean, literally, I've not touched this bike this way since I had it for about 7 years. I haven't serviced and don't even think about it. I just put new tyres on and they wear out, put another one on. But I noticed this tyre doing exactly the same thing as the last one did. And so, yeah, it's time to little tinker around, etc. So hopefully I'll go for a ride tomorrow, and then I'll have a look at the tyre when I've finished, and I'll let you know how we get on.